Say this every night before you sleep and watch how your life begins to shift. Tonight, I plant seeds in my mind. I speak these truths not just with words, but with the fire of belief. I know that what I repeat to myself becomes the blueprint of my tomorrow. So I declare now, as the world quiets and the stars witness, these 13 truths. When you finally take control of your thoughts, you begin to understand that every belief you hold is shaping the life you live. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant will grow. If you constantly allow fear, doubt, and insecurity to take root, they will spread and choke the possibility of greatness. But if you deliberately choose thoughts of strength, clarity, and purpose, your life begins to mirror those choices. Each night, when you repeat to yourself that you are the master of your thoughts, you are reminding your subconscious that no outside force can control your destiny without your permission. Fear is not something that vanishes on its own. It loses power only when you stop feeding it. Doubt is loud, but it cannot survive in the presence of unshakable belief. Insecurity may have been with you for years, but it has no hold on you once you recognize that you are far more capable than you once thought. This shift happens in the quiet moments, especially at night when your mind is most open to suggestion. What you say to yourself before sleep becomes the script your subconscious follows as you rest, rewriting the story you wake up to live. Declaring that only purpose, vision, and strength live in your mind is not just an affirmation, it's a declaration of war against mediocrity. You are choosing to live with intention rather than drifting through life, waiting for circumstances to change. Purpose gives you direction, vision lets you see beyond the obstacles, and strength ensures you keep moving even when progress feels slow. Every night you speak these words, you are building a stronger mental fortress that negativity cannot penetrate. With time, this practice begins to transform how you respond to life's challenges. You no longer react out of fear, but from a place of calm confidence. You stop second guessing your decisions and instead trust the process. People around you will notice the shift too. They will see someone grounded, someone focused, someone whose mind is no longer swayed by temporary emotions or setbacks. This is the quiet power that comes from mastering your inner world. The beauty of this simple nightly habit is that it compounds over time. Day by day, the thoughts you allow to live in your mind will shape your habits, your actions, and eventually your entire reality. By repeatedly affirming that no fear, doubt, or insecurity has power over you, you reprogram yourself for success. It's not magic, it's discipline. And the moment you choose what thoughts are allowed to stay, you take the first real step toward creating the life you've always envisioned. Waiting for a better time is the trap that keeps most people standing still. We convince ourselves that we will start when conditions improve, when we feel more confident, or when we have more resources. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. The right time is always now because delaying action means delaying growth. By choosing to prepare now, even in small ways, you are already building momentum toward the life you want. Every step taken today, no matter how small, is an investment in your future self. Belief is what ignites this preparation into purpose. It is not enough to plan. You must truly believe that what you are working toward is possible for you. Belief is what fuels the discipline to keep going even when results are not immediate. It gives meaning to the sacrifices and makes the work feel worthwhile. Saying, "I believe now," every night before sleep reminds your subconscious that doubt no longer controls you and that you are worthy of the success you are chasing. Movement is where transformation truly begins. Without action, belief and preparation remain only ideas. Moving now means taking even the smallest action. Writing one page, making one call, taking one step toward the vision you see for yourself. These actions may seem insignificant at first, but repeated daily, they compound into life, changing progress. Movement today ensures you wake up tomorrow closer to the life you want than you were yesterday. While the world sleeps, there is an advantage available to those willing to rise internally. It is in the quiet hours of reflection, gratitude, and intentional thought that you prepare yourself for challenges others are not ready for. This inner rising does not always show immediately on the outside, but over time it becomes undeniable. When everyone else wonders how you achieved so much, you will know it began in these silent moments of night. time commitment. Choosing to prepare, believe, and move now transforms every night into a sacred opportunity. Each evening becomes a reset, a reminder that no matter what happened today, tomorrow can be different if you decide it will be. By making this declaration nightly, you program your mind for courage and readiness. The next day, you rise with a clarity and determination that others mistake for luck, not realizing it was built quietly, word by word, night after night. Carrying the wave unresolved emotions from one day to the next quietly drains your energy and clouds your focus. Burden, guilt, and anger are heavy, and when left unaddressed, they settle deep into your heart and shape how you see the world. By deciding to release them each night, you are protecting your mind from being poisoned by negativity that doesn't serve you. Letting go is not about ignoring what happened. It is about freeing yourself from being chained to it. There is a quiet strength in choosing peace over bitterness. When you refuse to sleep with resentment in your heart, you are declaring that nothing outside of you will control your inner world. This is not weakness, it is discipline. It takes courage to confront your own feelings, acknowledge them, and then release them. It means you value your mental clarity and your well-being more than holding on to pain that only hurts you further. The moment before sleep is one of the most powerful times for your mind. In those last thoughts of the day, your subconscious is listening closely. If you choose to dwell on anger or regret, it will feed that to you as you rest. But if you intentionally choose to clear your heart and invite peace, you allow your subconscious to reset, to heal, and to prepare you for a better tomorrow. This practice turns your nights into a sanctuary where your spirit can recover. Making room for peace does not mean life will suddenly become perfect, but it ensures you are not adding unnecessary weight to your journey. A peaceful heart leads to clearer decisions, better relationships, and stronger resilience in the face of challenges. By removing the poison of yesterday, you open yourself to receive the blessings of tomorrow. This is how healing begins, quietly, consistently, night after night. Every time you release what no longer serves you, you take back a piece of your power. You are no longer controlled by what went wrong, but guided by what can go right. Over time, this nightly act becomes a habit of freedom. And when you wake up lighter, calmer, and focused, you realize that peace is not something you wait to find. It is something you choose to create one evening at a time. Grudges are a quiet prison that most people do not realize they are living in. Every time you replay an old hurt or hold on to the memory of how someone wronged you, you relive that pain and give it new life inside your heart. This weight may seem invisible to others, but you feel it in your mood, your thoughts, and even your body. By choosing not to carry grudges into tomorrow, you are deciding to stop allowing yesterday's pain to control your present and your future. Forgiveness, in this sense, is not about excusing what happened or pretending that it did not matter. It is about refusing to let anger and resentment have power over you any longer. The moment you let go, you reclaim your own energy and free yourself from the emotional chains that resentment creates. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way to release yourself from a battle that no longer serves you. Carrying resentment often feels justified in the moment, as if holding on to it keeps you safe or somehow evens the score. But over time, it only drains you and clouds your vision of what is possible. Resentment blinds you to opportunities, makes you less open to joy, and quietly hardens your heart. Choosing release at night is a way to remind yourself that peace is more important than proving a point or holding on to hurt. This choice to let go creates a mental and emotional reset. When you wake up, you are no longer starting the day weighed down by yesterday's conflicts. You can focus on what you are building rather than what broke you. This habit slowly transforms how you respond to life. Instead of reacting with anger, you begin to lead with clarity and calm. The freedom you gain from release opens space for gratitude, growth, and deeper connections with others. When this becomes your nightly practice, forgiveness stops being an occasional act and becomes part of who you are. Over time, the world feels lighter, and you realize that peace is something you create, not something you wait to find. Choosing release is not a single event, but a daily commitment, one that turns pain into wisdom and allows you to move forward unburdened. ready to embrace the life you are meant to live. Gratitude is most powerful when life feels imperfect. It is easy to feel thankful when everything is going your way, but the real transformation happens when you find reasons to be grateful, even in struggle. Each trial you face carries a lesson, and that lesson often becomes the key to your growth. By focusing on what you can learn instead of what went wrong, you shift your energy from frustration to understanding, which allows you to rise stronger than before. Every challenge you encounter hides an opportunity within it. At first, it may look like an obstacle standing in your way, but with time you begin to see how it pushes you to think differently, act boldly, or develop skills you never knew you had. Gratitude helps you notice these hidden doors and step through them. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is this preparing me for?" Even the smallest things, like a deep breath or a quiet moment, become blessings when viewed through the lens of gratitude. Life often moves so fast that we forget to appreciate these simple gifts. Taking a moment each night to acknowledge them slows you down and reminds you of how much you already have. This shift in focus not only eases stress, but also invites more calm and happiness into your life. Gratitude also changes how you interact with the world around you. When you train yourself to look for lessons and blessings, you become less reactive to negativity and more open to understanding others. You begin to see value in experiences that once seemed meaningless, and you carry a sense of peace that others can feel. This quiet strength becomes part of your character and influences how people respond to you. Over time, gratitude builds a foundation for resilience. Instead of waiting for perfection to be thankful, you choose to be thankful on the journey itself. This perspective allows you to face life with hope, knowing that even in hardship there is growth, even in struggle there is meaning, and in every breath there is a reminder of the gift of being alive. Seeing the life you want in vivid detail is the first step to bringing it into reality. When you close your eyes at night and picture the life you dream of, you are giving your mind a clear target to aim for. Instead of vague wishes, you create a vision that feels real, the kind of vision that pulls you forward even on the hardest days. This is not just about daydreaming, it is about programming your subconscious to recognize opportunities that align with what you want most. Feeling that future life as if it already belongs to you deepens your belief in it. When you allow yourself to experience the emotions of that success, pride, joy, freedom, your mind begins to accept it as possible. You stop doubting if it will happen and start preparing for when it does. This shift in feeling is powerful because emotions leave a stronger imprint on the subconscious than logic alone ever could. Imagining the taste of victory and the sound of applause makes the vision even more real. You are not simply wishing for change. You are living it in your mind before it arrives. Athletes, performers, and leaders use this same method to prepare for greatness. They rehearse success in their imagination until it feels familiar. The more real you make it, the easier it becomes to act in ways that align with it in your waking life. Belief is what turns a vision from fantasy into inevitability. When you believe deeply enough, you start making decisions that reflect your future rather than your present circumstances. You stop hesitating, you stop second guessing, and you start moving with quiet certainty. Belief is not about ignoring challenges. It is about trusting that you are capable of overcoming them on the path to your dream. This nightly practice of seeing, feeling, and believing becomes a silent contract with yourself. Each time you repeat it, you strengthen the connection between your inner world and the life you are building. Over time, what once felt like a distant dream begins to feel normal, and the world responds to your certainty. The life you want does not just happen. It is created, first in your mind and then in reality. Believing you deserve love, wealth, growth, joy, and health is the foundation of every meaningful transformation. Too many people move through life thinking they must earn their worth by suffering or proving themselves to others. But the truth is, worth is not something you chase, it is something you already have. The moment you accept that you are inherently worthy of good things, you stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you and begin claiming the life you were designed to live. Life is not meant to be an endless cycle of struggle without meaning. Struggle has its place. It shapes us, teaches us, and strengthens us. But it is never meant to define us. You were not born to merely survive day after day. You were born to rise with purpose. When you remind yourself of this each night, you shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of intention, no longer waiting for permission to live fully, but actively choosing it. Rising with intention means being clear about what you want and why you want it. It is about directing your energy toward growth rather than letting life happen to you by chance. This clarity transforms even the smallest actions into steps toward something greater. It turns ordinary moments into opportunities to practice discipline, gratitude, and focus, all of which slowly build the future you deserve. Joy and health are not luxuries but necessities for a fulfilled life. Claiming them does not mean life will be free of pain or challenges. It means you will navigate those challenges with strength and hope. When you affirm nightly that these gifts are your birthright, you condition your mind to seek and create them in every decision you make. This creates a ripple effect. Your internal belief changes your actions, and your actions shape your reality. Over time, this practice rewires how you see yourself and the world around you. Instead of feeling like an outsider to happiness and abundance, you begin to see yourself as someone who belongs there. You no longer question whether good things are possible for you. You expect them because you are working toward them with purpose. This quiet but powerful shift turns every night into a declaration of your destiny, preparing you to rise each morning ready to claim what is already yours. Choosing to be disciplined, kind, courageous, and focused is more than just a personal goal. It is a decision that shapes how the world responds to you. Discipline teaches you to stay committed when motivation fades. It builds habits that carry you through hard days and ensures that even when progress feels slow, you are still moving forward. Kindness softens the edges of life, not only for others, but for yourself. It creates connections, earns trust, and opens doors that force alone could never open. Courage is what allows you to step into the unknown without waiting for perfect conditions. It does not mean you are fearless. It means you move forward despite fear. Each act of courage strengthens your belief in yourself, proving again and again that you are capable of handling what life throws at you. Focus ties it all together. Without focus, discipline can be wasted on the wrong goals, and courage can lead you in circles. Focus keeps your eyes on what truly matters, filtering out distractions and guiding you toward your vision. When you embody these qualities, you send a signal to the world about who you are and what you stand for. People respond to energy even when they cannot put it into words. A disciplined person inspires trust, a kind person invites loyalty, a courageous person earns respect, and a focused person draws support. Without speaking, you begin to attract opportunities and relationships that reflect these same traits back to you. This reflection is not magic, it is alignment. When you consistently choose these values, your actions, words, and mindset begin to harmonize, creating an energy that others naturally gravitate toward. The world mirrors back what you put out because your life becomes a living example of what you claim to believe in. If you radiate negativity, that is what returns to you. But if you radiate purpose and strength, you will notice doors opening that once seemed locked. Making this choice every night before sleep reinforces it until it becomes second nature. You stop trying to be disciplined, kind, courageous, and focused. You simply are. The repetition shapes your identity, and your identity shapes your destiny. Over time, the world begins to respond differently, and you realize it is not coincidence. It is the inevitable result of who you decided to become and the energy you chose to share with everyone around you. Dreams are often misunderstood by those who cannot see what you see. When you hold a vision that feels bigger than your current reality, it can make others uncomfortable. They may tell you to tone it down, to be more realistic, or to lower your expectations so you do not get disappointed. But when you water your dreams down to fit into someone else's comfort zone, you also shrink your own potential. The truth is, no one else has to see what you see. They only need to witness what happens when you refuse to let go of it. Wanting more does not make you ungrateful. It means you recognize the possibilities within you. Too often, people confuse ambition with greed, but there is nothing selfish about striving to grow and create a better life. The world benefits from those who dare to reach higher because their courage inspires others to believe they can do the same. When you stop apologizing for wanting more, you finally allow yourself to pursue the life that was always waiting for you. Honoring your dreams is not about talking about them endlessly. It is about proving them through consistent action. Every breath you take, every choice you make, becomes an opportunity to move closer to the vision you hold inside. You may not achieve it overnight, but each step forward is a quiet victory. Others may never understand the fire that drives you, but they will eventually respect the results that come from it. Holding on to your vision in a world that constantly pushes for compromise requires strength. It means choosing to believe in yourself even when you face doubt, criticism, or setbacks. It means understanding that your dreams do not need approval to be valid. They need commitment to become real. This kind of devotion transforms your goals from distant wishes into inevitable outcomes. As you repeat this truth each night before you sleep, it becomes part of who you are. You no longer question if you are worthy of wanting more, you know it. You no longer seek permission to chase your vision, you claim it. And over time, the world begins to adjust to your unwavering belief, not the other way around. By honoring your dreams with every breath, you turn them into your reality. Every day presents challenges that test your focus and determination. Laziness whispers that you can put things off until tomorrow. Fear convinces you that failure is inevitable, and distractions tempt you with comfort instead of progress. These forces may slow you down, but they cannot define you unless you allow them to. Each night, when you acknowledge what tried to stop you and declare that it will not control you tomorrow, you reclaim power over your own choices. This recognition alone shifts you from being reactive to being intentional. Purpose is the fuel that burns brighter than any excuse. When you are clear about why you are doing something, it becomes harder to quit. Purpose transforms hard work into meaningful work, and it gives you the strength to push through discomfort when others give up. Fear may still show up, and distractions may still tempt you, but with a strong sense of purpose, you choose the path that serves your future rather than your immediate comfort. This practice of declaring your power nightly conditions your mind for resilience. Instead of carrying today's failures into tomorrow, you use them as reminders of what to guard against. Laziness becomes an opportunity to strengthen discipline. Fear becomes a chance to practice courage. Distractions become signals that you need to refocus. Each obstacle transforms into a teacher rather than a permanent barrier. When you wake up the next day, you do so with a renewed mindset. You are no longer burdened by yesterday's setbacks, but instead motivated by the commitment you made to yourself. Others may wonder why your energy feels different, why you seem so unshaken by challenges, but it is because you have already fought the battle in your mind and chosen to win. This quiet victory each night sets the tone for how you approach every morning. Over time, this becomes more than a nightly ritual. It becomes part of your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone easily defeated by excuses or fear. You begin to see yourself as someone unstoppable, guided by purpose and driven by determination. Each night, as you repeat this declaration, you strengthen that identity, and with it, you shape a future where nothing has the power to control you except your own unshakable will. Patience is one of the most difficult virtues to master, especially when you are hungry for change and desperate to see results. It is natural to want everything to happen quickly, to wish for the reward without enduring the wait. But life rarely works on our timeline. What we desire often arrives not when we demand it, but when we have become the person capable of receiving it. Understanding this truth changes frustration into preparation, because instead of wondering why it has not happened yet, you begin asking yourself, am I ready for it? There is a reason some opportunities feel delayed. They are waiting for your growth to match their weight. A blessing received too soon can feel like a burden, while the same blessing received in the right season feels like destiny. When you take this to heart, the waiting becomes less about impatience and more about becoming the version of yourself who can handle what you are asking for. Each day you grow, you are not simply waiting, you are preparing yourself to step into what belongs to you. Preparation in this sense is quiet but powerful. It is the daily work of building discipline, learning lessons, and shaping habits that align with the life you want. It may not be visible to others, but you feel it within yourself. The slow strengthening, the quiet maturity, the steady rise. By declaring each night that you are preparing for what you asked for, you turn your waiting into action. You transform what feels like delay into an opportunity to sharpen your character. When what you desire finally arrives, it rarely feels like a sudden miracle. More often, it feels like a natural next step because you have been preparing for it all along. The patience you developed while waiting becomes the stability you need to hold on to it. The discipline you built in the quiet seasons becomes the foundation that supports you when the spotlight shines. What once felt like unanswered prayers now feels like perfect timing. Saying this every night reminds you that nothing is wasted, not the waiting, not the lessons, not the setbacks. Everything is shaping you for the moment you are ready. Instead of living in frustration, you live in faith, trusting that the timing of your life is working for you, not against you. When the day comes that your preparation and opportunity meet, you will recognize it instantly, and you will step into it with gratitude rather than fear. Trusting the process begins with accepting that you will not always see the full path ahead. Life rarely unfolds in a straight line. More often, it reveals itself step by step. This uncertainty can feel overwhelming, but it is also where faith is born. When you learn to walk forward without needing to see the entire road, you begin to rely on inner strength rather than external certainty. This trust becomes a quiet confidence that carries you through confusion and doubt. Every setback you face can feel like a door slamming shut, but in truth, it is often a redirection toward something better. What feels like failure in the moment is frequently the foundation of a greater success you cannot yet see. Life uses obstacles to teach resilience, sharpen perspective, and prepare you for opportunities that would otherwise overwhelm you. When you shift your mindset to see setbacks as setups, disappointment turns into determination and fear turns into focus. This perspective does not remove the pain of challenges, but it gives purpose to the struggle. Instead of asking why things are going wrong, you begin asking what you are meant to learn. Each lesson you uncover becomes a tool for the next stage of your journey. Slowly, you realize that nothing was wasted. Not the delays, not the failures, not even the heartbreaks. All of it was shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared. When you hold on to this belief nightly, your mind stops obsessing over what you cannot control. You stop forcing answers and instead open yourself to receive them when they arrive. This does not mean you sit still and do nothing. It means you move forward in faith, knowing that clarity comes through action, not endless worry. With every step you take, the path becomes clearer and your confidence grows. Over time, trust becomes your default response to uncertainty. You no longer panic when plans change or when you cannot see the full picture. Instead, you recognize these moments as opportunities for something greater to unfold. By affirming this truth before you sleep, you program your subconscious to seek meaning in every challenge and strength in every trial, allowing each setback to propel you toward a greater leap forward. Drifting through life is one of the easiest traps to fall into. Days begin to blur together when you allow routines to control you rather than using routines to serve your purpose. Waking up without intention feels harmless at first, but over time it steals your energy and your direction. Life is too valuable to be lived on autopilot, yet many people spend years in that state without realizing how much potential they have let slip by. The moment you decide to command your day, instead of letting it pass by, everything begins to change. Commanding your day starts with a clear decision the night before. It is not about waiting for inspiration in the morning. It is about setting the tone ahead of time. When you go to bed declaring that you will lead your day, you prime your mind to wake up with purpose. You are telling yourself that tomorrow will not control you. You will control it. This simple mental shift transforms mornings from chaotic to intentional, giving you the clarity to start strong. Taking control also means being aware of what truly matters to you. When you lead your day, you are not simply busy, you are productive in ways that align with your values and goals. You stop wasting energy on distractions or habits that do not move you forward. Instead, you prioritize what creates real progress, even if it requires sacrifice or discomfort. Each intentional choice builds momentum toward the future you envision. Shaping your day requires consistent action. It is not enough to plan, you must follow through, especially when motivation fades. There will be moments when fatigue tempts you to coast or when setbacks make drifting feel easier. But reminding yourself that your life is too precious for autopilot will keep you anchored. You learn to push through resistance, not because every moment feels exciting, but because your purpose is more important than your comfort. Over time, this nightly declaration becomes a quiet promise to yourself. You begin to see each day as an opportunity to design your future rather than wait for it to happen. The more often you practice leading your day, the less likely you are to surrender it to chance. Life stops feeling random and starts feeling intentional. And as you command each day, you realize you are shaping not just your schedule, but the entire course of your destiny.